Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Cobra Command Central Toy Review. And today's review will be looking at the 2007 release by ToyBiz of the legendary comic book hero series number 1 that allows you to build this humongous action figure called Pitt from the Image Comics. And today's action figure review will be looking at Judge Dredd. Now, to those who never read the 2000 AD comics where the character first appeared, Judge Dredd also appeared in the live-action movie released in 1995 by Hollywood, of course, portrayed by Sylvester Stallone. Now, the movie character and the comic character differs slightly, actually maybe a lot. Throughout the half of the movie itself, the character portrayed a lot of emotions, from anger to compassion to conscience and in the end love. But for the comic version for Judge Dredd, he has never changed his personality throughout all these years. Maybe slightly so, but still remained the same. He is devoid of any emotions at all and has, most of the time has a strong belief of the law itself. Now, without further ado, let's continue on with the toy review and check out his accessories. Now, this figure comes with a knife that you can sheath straight from these boots here. There's a knife sheath there, and the knife itself, there's nothing special to talk about the knife. There's not a lot of details. Maybe there's some serrate edges at the bottom here, but nothing much. The knife can't be placed onto the right hand because the right hand has been sculpted to a trigger hand. The left hand, however, is meant to hold the knife. You slide it in and he holds it quite well, and it's not loose at all. You pull it out and put it back into the knife sheath and it's done. Now, the best part about this figure itself is it encompasses both the comic version and the movie version by judging on the weapons itself. This is the lawgiver. This is the comic version lawgiver. As you can see, there's a lot of details there. There's a knob there to allow him to change settings on whatever ammunition that he wants to use to dispatch the criminals or other worldly beings or maybe robots. And the gun needs to fit through this gap rather to the hole itself, because the handle is too big. You can't actually put it in like so. You have to fit it like at the corner here. And you can place the gun right to his holster located at the right side of the boots. The second weapon is placed at the back of the pouch itself, and the second weapon is the movie version of the lawgiver, which is rather huge. This is one side and this is the other side, which is very nicely detailed. Even include the knob there to allow the character to change the settings on whatever ammunition that he wants to use. It's very nicely done. So if you want to pose the figure like the original Judge Dredd, you can have him hold the original lawgiver, or if you want the movie version, you can always have him hold the movie version pistol. Now, let's take a look at the paint job and the sculpt. Now, the paint job, majority of the paint job is excellent, but there are some smudges here and there. Well, let's take a look at the bottom part of the legs first. You got the knee pads going on, and the boots, and the glove, and the pouches. They're all in green. Now, the funny thing about the green paint job, it's weathered, but the bottom part of the boot itself, it looks like it's been smudged by brown paint, as if the character just waded through a puddle of mud. It's actually a nice thing. I'm not too sure if it's intentional. The entire uniform is in dark blue, and then you have the elbow pads, the shoulder pads, and the badge itself all painted in more darker yellow to simulate gold, just like how it appeared in the comics itself. It's supposed to be gold, but this figure follows more towards the comic version. You got the helmet going on, you got the visor, which is also painted with some dark blue paints, very nicely done. The mouth is also very nicely painted. It's not too pink, Shadings on the face itself is very nicely done as well. The belt buckle is a bit disappointing because, as you can see in this image, the wings and the bottom part, well, the overall belt buckle is a bit smudged. It's not as brightly yellow colored as compared to the rest of the parts itself, so this is a disappointing part. But the rest of the paint job looks excellent. Take a look at the badge image here. As you can see, there's a lot of sculpt going on with the badge. It looks very nice, and the word Dredd is etched over there, nicely painted. And then you have the eagle shoulder pad, as shown in this image. It's very detailed stuff, very nicely done. Now, the helmet is not a removable accessory. It just stays stuck at the head. But if you look down like so, as shown in this image, you will notice there's actually eyes behind the visor. Sculpted eyes and painted eyes behind the visor. That is a very, very awesome job. There's a lot of details on this figure, as you can see. Pouches on the glove. On one side here, you have the wrist guard here. Glove is also nicely sculpted. On the other side as well, very nicely done. The back of the pouch itself, you got the straps going on. Back of the boots itself, you got the zipper. You notice the zipper? Yes. It's very nicely done. Everything on this figure sculpt is excellent. Now, let's take a look at the articulation. Now, the head can turn 360 degrees, as shown like so, but it's a bit hindered by the shoulder pad here. Cannot pivot the head up and down, just a little tiny bit. The torso is ratcheted. You can bend down or bend backwards. But with the gun behind, he can't bend backwards because it's been hindered by the gun itself. There's waist articulation that turns 360 degrees with no problems. Very nice. Now the arm here can lift all the way up like so, but can't turn 360 degrees because it's hindered a little bit by the wings at the back here and in the front. The shoulder pad here cannot turn 360 degrees, as obvious reasons. Double jointed elbow. Forearm can turn 360 degrees. Wrist can pivot downwards and go straight, but it doesn't go outwards. There's no finger articulation, which is a bit sad, but at the same time it benefits because it can hold the weapon much more secure. The hip joints is also really good. It goes forward, backward, a little bit, side, swivel tie, double jointed knee. Calf joint can turn 360 degrees. Ankle goes downward, upward, go to the sides, and toe articulation. By far, this figure is very awesome. So if I'm going to give a rating out of this figure, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.